Goodbye Billy FLYNN. Chad leaves with Kat after losing the custody battle to Jennifer. Days spoilers. Chad leaves with Kat after losing the custody battle to Jennifer.
Salem has witnessed heartbreak before.
It has endured murder, resurrection, baby switches, memory wipes, devil possessions, and weddings so dramatic the cake refused to rise. But nothing prepared fans for the moment Chad D'Imera, suit wrinkled, eyes haunted, and suitcase in hand, walked down the Horton driveway with only his cat following at his heels. Billy Flynn, the man behind Chad for over a decade, the actor who charmed fans with his beautifully broken vulnerability and D'Imera fire, has officially said goodbye.
But not quietly.
His exit storyline detonated like a bomb under Salem's Thanksgiving leftovers.
A custody battle. A shattered family. A D'Imera in exile.
A cat named Mr. Biscuits becoming the emotional heart of Salem. This is the full creative deep dive into Chad's heartbreaking final arc, Jennifer's unexpected triumph, and how a simple house pet became the symbol of a man losing everything, except the will to walk away. Buckle up.
This is Salem, after all. The trouble didn't begin all at once.
It started slowly, like a crack forming in a window pane, barely visible at first, then suddenly spiderwebbing until everything shatters. After the tragic months following Abigail's death, Chad tried desperately to hold his family together. He cooked, he cleaned, he read bedtime stories with a smile that rarely reached his eyes.
He tried to be both parents at once.
But grief is a thief.
And Salem is a pressure cooker.
Jennifer returned to town, stronger than ever, sober, determined, and painfully aware that her late daughter's children were drifting in the aftermath. She watched Chad unravel underneath the stress of solo parenting, work demands, and D'Imera chaos.
She noticed the exhaustion.
The forgotten school forms. The lost temper on the worst days.
Then came the incident. The one Salem wouldn't stop talking about.
Thomas had a school project due, a diorama of the solar system.
Chad had forgotten.
Not because he didn't care, but because he'd been up all night helping Xander escape another Paula planned scheme. Salem dads do questionable things.
Charlotte needed a costume for the Horton Thanksgiving play.
Chad forgot that too. It wasn't malicious, it was human. But Jennifer snapped when she found Thomas trying to glue cotton balls to a shoebox at 1 a.m. while Charlotte cried because she only had a paper bag instead of a pilgrim dress.
Jennifer saw chaos. Chad saw a misunderstanding. The courts saw a red flag. And the battle began. Chad tried mediation.
He tried calm conversations.
He tried compromise.
But Jennifer, filled with both love and fear, wanted stability for her grandchildren, and she wielded the Horton name like a shield.
Chad argued he had changed. Jennifer argued he had collapsed. Salem divided instantly.
Kate, because she hates to see a D'Imera lose a fight. Rafe, firm believer in second chances. EJ, but only because he enjoys watching Jennifer panic.
Gabby, strictly for the drama.
Jack, torn, yes, but always Jenny's husband.
Julie, because nothing says support like a Horton lecture.
Kayla, worried about the kids. Adrienne's memory, invoked at least 5 times. Roman, only interested in avoiding disaster. Things escalated when Chad made the single most Salem decision possible. Because why hire a lawyer when you can give a tearful monologue about love that would make even Stefano pause from beyond the grave? But Salem reality is different from Salem romance. Jennifer's lawyer didn't blink. Not once. Chad blinked so much the judge began handing him tissues automatically. Enter the unexpected star. Mr. Biscuits, the aloof, judgmental cat Abigail adopted years prior. This feline became critical to the custody case. Jennifer claimed the cat's recent stress behavior proved the environment in Chad's apartment was too chaotic. Chad argued that Mr. Biscuit simply had an attitude problem and hated everyone equally.
The court brought in a pet behavior specialist.
Yes, really, the specialist concluded.
Mr. Biscuits exhibited signs of anxiety. He slept on top of Chad's work laptop because he felt ignored. He meowed sadly whenever Thomas left the room. He hid under the futon whenever EJ knocked on the door.
Relatable. Jennifer's lawyer submitted a photo of Mr. Biscuits being comforted by Julie. Chad countered with a photo of Mr. Biscuits refusing to get off his chest during bedtime stories. The judge ruled. He world had already fallen in love with this furry witness to domestic collapse. On a rainy Thursday afternoon, because Salem never does life-changing verdicts on sunny days, the judge awarded temporary full custody to Jennifer, with Chad receiving visitation.
Chad kept his composure until he stepped out into the courthouse hallway. Then he crumbled. Kate hugged him. Roman nodded sympathetically. Julie whispered a prayer.
EJ muttered, "This is why you always hire a lawyer."
But the most heartbreaking moment?
Mr. Biscuits walked over to Chad, curled around his leg, and let out the softest meow. Even Jennifer teared up. But the judge had spoken, and Salem had to obey. Telling Thomas and Charlotte broke Chad into pieces he didn't know he had left. Thomas tried to be brave, but the way he pressed his face into Chad's chest told a different story. Charlotte sobbed until she fell asleep beside her favorite stuffed bear.
Chad kissed their foreheads, whispered that he loved them, promised he wasn't going far. He lied, but he believed it then.
The Di mansion, normally loud and dramatic, fell strangely silent when Chad walked its halls for the last time.
Kate squeezed his shoulder. EJ offered Di jet access.
Gabby gave him a stolen key card to a hotel because you never know.
Chad didn't take any of it. He took only a suitcase.
A photo of Thomas and Charlotte.
And Mr. Biscuits, who refused to leave his side.
The next morning, Salem gathered on the Horton lawn for one final goodbye. Jennifer watched from the porch, guilt twisting inside her. She hadn't meant for any of this, not the pain, not the exile, but her heart still screamed that she was doing the right thing for the kids. Thomas stood next to her, crying silently.
Charlotte buried her face in Julie's skirt.
Chad approached with Mr. Biscuits tucked gently in his arms. He knelt in front of his children, holding their hands. "I'm not disappearing," he whispered. "I'm giving everyone space.
I'm getting myself together.
And when I come back, I'm coming back as the dad you deserve."
Thomas nodded, tears streaming.
Charlotte hiccuped a tiny, "Don't go, Daddy."
Chad barely held it together. He hugged them both until Jennifer gently stepped forward. And then, he stood, turned, and walked toward the car waiting at the curb.
The cat looked back at the children through the window, one slow, sad blink. The moment felt biblical.
Salem practically stopped breathing.
Billy Flynn's final shot. Chad Di leaving Salem with nothing but a small animal who loved him unconditionally.
Credits could have rolled right then.
Creative spoiler speculation. Sources close to production, and by sources, we mean dramatic imagination and creative storytelling, reveal Chad's exit arc is only the beginning of a larger storyline unfolding off-screen. Rumor suggests to reconnect with Abigail's extended family, seek therapy, and rebuild. A healing companion guiding Chad through grief. A woman connected to Abigail's past, possibly a former friend, possibly someone with secrets. Rebalanced, restored, and ready to reclaim his children. And maybe even the Di throne.
This isn't the end. It's a chrysalis.
Without Chad, Salem feels off-kilter.
Pretends to be unfazed. He is not.
He walks around the mansion dramatically swirling whiskey, reminiscing about arguing with Chad. Threatens to sue Jennifer for emotional distress on Chad's behalf.
Roman talks her out of it.
Insists on praying for Chad loudly, publicly, and often.
Feels guilty she never helped more.
Claims he kinda respected the lad, and immediately blames EJ for everything.
Ask for their dad every night. Salem misses Chad. More than it ever expected to.
For 10+ years, Billy Flynn embodied. The lover. The fighter.
The broken man. The redeemed Di.
The husband Abigail fought heaven and hell for.
The father who never stopped trying.
His exit, creative, tragic, painfully human, cements him among the show's most unforgettable characters.
He didn't die. He didn't vanish. He didn't get brainwashed and shipped to an island. He simply left.
And sometimes, that hits hardest of all. In his final on-screen moment, Chad sits in the back seat of the car as Salem disappears behind him. Mr. Biscuits curls up on his lap, purring softly.
Chad whispers,
"Don't worry, buddy.
We're not done."
Not by a long shot.
The car drives into the horizon. Fade to black. Roll credits.
No gunfire. No explosions. Just heartbreak, hope, and a man trying to rebuild.
A fitting goodbye for Billy Flynn.
A powerful pause for Chad Di. A new beginning, somewhere beyond Salem. Make no mistake.
He will return.
And when he does,
Jennifer will face consequences. The kids will run into his arms.
EJ will pretend he didn't miss him. Mr. Biscuits will reclaim his rightful throne as Salem's favorite emotional support animal.
Chad's comeback storyline is already writing itself in the hearts of fans. This isn't goodbye.
This is an intermission.
If you want, I can also write.